Hello and welcome to day one of the Great Apes Summit. Time is running out for our nearest relatives who could all face extinction within decades. Jackson Hole, Wyoming, famed for the Grand Tetons, is an area that's rich in biodiversity. Is it any wonder then that conservationists have chosen this dramatic backdrop for what's being hailed as a critical UN summit? I'm here in the heart of the Wild West, where it's hoped that discussions in great ape conservation will blaze a trail to a brighter future. For the next 2 days, delegates will be arriving here at the Centre for the Arts before decamping to the National Park. I caught up with one of the summit organisers. Annette, what are you hoping to achieve?
Really, the objective is a very simple one. It's to broaden the community of interest on ape conservation issues. At the moment, it is considered the domain of conservationists and scientists. And really, the issues about apes involve and affect all of us. And so it needs to include industry, government, both host governments as well as donor governments and consumer governments where the demands are for natural resources, and the general public, people who buy objects, people who consume resources.
Wildlife documentary is often a very good way to reach the public when NGOs don't. How significant was that sort of bit of information in your mind?
Well, obviously that was a critical factor in our decision to work with the Wildlife Film Festival. This is a huge festival, and it will attract people from the media industry and the wildlife documentary industry from all over the world. But I think it also is a bit of a point to make, and that's that a lot of wildlife films tend to try to stay comfortable. And they show the issues in an incredibly simplistic way. People like to see cute and cuddly or red in tooth and claw and lots of predation. And the interest and the depth of coverage is very superficial. And we don't talk about the issues, the real issues. We don't talk about how our buying cell phones is a factor that affects the prices of columbium and tantalum coming from the Congo, and how mining for those minerals in the Congo destroys habitats and consumes populations of eastern gorillas. So until we realize how our behavior impacts apes, we're not going to feel concerned. We're not going to feel it touches us. And I personally feel that wildlife filmmakers need to be much more engaged, much more knowledgeable, and willing to push the envelope a little bit further. If we're really going to educate the public, then we have to educate the public.